Well, I'm heading back to the city of Rome, the old city of Rome, because actually all this is Rome where I'm walking. That is Vatican City and the tower. This is the back entrance of the hello. The back entrance of the Vatican City. Of course, Vatican means place of Vatica. Vatica was a ancient Roman Greek goddess. Make sure I'm not going over. It's very tricky to cross the streets out here because you got curbs and you don't see anything. They will run over you. So Vatican City is named after the goddess Vatican, and it was a cemetery. And according to people believe, or maybe history included, that is where they bury St. Peter, on the bottom of the basilica today. So was basically a cemetery for the Romans, a necropolis. What they call a necropolis. And today is an amazing sight. It's probably the biggest church in the world, or it is the biggest church in the world. Well, let me see if you can see what I'm talking about. When you're gonna walk through an intersection. So you have right here, let me see, 1, 2, 3 different lanes of traffic merging onto one. And this little narrow spot is where it's trouble. Let's see what are we going to do. Make sure I'm not gonna run over. Oop, there it goes. Buongiorno. And that is what you get. There's a little narrow side street. So this is the wall of the city. Of course, the city is a fortress. You have to remember that back in the days, the Vatican was the head of the state of basically the entire mid-section of the Italic peninsula. Of course, there come the Spaniards and conquer them. So today, even today, we speak in Italia some Catalan and some Aragonese and so on. It's different languages for different tribes living in the Italic peninsula. Of course, you got the Latins and you have the Etruscans and so on. But the Italian, as we know it, as a national language, is basically Etruscan. Is the language of the Etruscans, and they are basically around Florence or Firenze. It's Florence, and today you can walk up there to their necropolis and museums and all that. So the Latin that we know doesn't exist, only exists right here in the Vatican. And the languages are not based on Latin, like they're telling you all the time. There is Latin languages. No, they are not Latin languages. They use the Latin alphabet, but the sound is not Latin at all. And one example of that is the word war. In Latin is bellum. And everybody else in Europe is guerra. So if you see, it's a long way from guerra to bellum. And that is the theory behind it. Our languages, romantic languages, they call it, are not really Romans. Well, it is no way around it. Is these guys, the Vatican, control the education. So they open up churches all over Europe, and also abbeys and places where they have scribes. So they control the information. The same is today, the internet. They control the information, they control the internet back in the days. They control the books, what is put into a book. So because of that, they control history. And because they control history, guess what? They can control you. So that is why it's so important, this building, because this building is basically our center of thinking. Is what keep all Europeans thinking the same way, or at least trying to. So this is Vatican City, and I'm heading down south to the parking lot. Buongiorno. 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 And so this is where everything began, or actually the way we educate ourselves as a human group. Start right here. Buongiorno. Apparently these guys are lost. I can tell them, just walk and you find something. That is how I do it. I just walk. And when I find the entrance, I go in. I know it's about 5 miles around the whole place. And I already went around once, so now I'm coming back the opposite way. Because I wanted to see the perspective from the other side. You know, walking around backwards. I learned that walking in the woods, you know, going hunting. As you walk towards something, you must look back to remember where you've been, so that way you can return. So I learned to walk forward and then stop, look back, and maybe even walk a little farther back to see where am I and how to come back through there. And of course it takes a little longer, but you get the exercise. Now this is what I call what they call a piccolino. This is a exam. It's a piccolino car, small car. It's like a motorcycle. Check that out. I love this kind of cars. I mean, I think the Italians made the smallest car ever. And of course I got the sun behind me, so you're gonna see my shadow there somehow. Check that out. That is to put fuel in it. You open that and the whole bumper comes around and you can fill the tank. Buongiorno. So what I was the significance of the Vatican is immense. That is why you see every head of state coming here and visiting with the Vatican, including the worst of the worst, Fidel Castro, Putin, and so on. Okay, let me see what's going on out here, make sure that I don't get run over. So I got a motorcycle coming. So now I'm here. I made that crossing there. And I think I'm going to cross the street out here also. Get on the other side to get a better perspective of the Vatican wall, the fortress. Now, today they have something they call the Swiss guards. The Swiss guards. And the reason they have the Swiss guards are because they got slaughtered one time by the Spaniards. The Spaniards decided, hey, enough is enough with the Vatican. Okay, let me see how I'm gonna cross. There's traffic here. There's traffic here. There's traffic. I'm telling you, it's a challenge crossing. Now notice this guy is on the wrong opposite side of the road. They drive like insane, and I love to drive out here. I'm telling you, it's like a bumper cars. I mean, it's like everybody trying to hit each other. I really enjoy driving here. Look at this one. They got two axles up front. Okay, let's see what I can do. And the danger zone is right here. They're going to pop out of that curve by there. So I'm going to see which way I can cross. Look at how ugly that car is. I mean, they have some designs. Holy cow, they got some ugly designs. I mean, they have no taste whatsoever in automobiles. Check this one right there, the small one. Okay, let's see. There they come this way. There they come this way. I already got 11 minutes in my my video. Right next door to the Vatican wall. Trying to cross. Okay, I'm taking my chances right now. Oh no! Almost got run over by that one. So I made it. Let me see how can I get around this fox so I can have a clear shot of the Vatican. So yeah, every head of state in the planet come here and do a powwow with the Pope, because they control 1.2 billion people. It's a beautiful place. Come and see it. And it's a place like no other. I mean, you see the richest person in the planet visiting head of states and so on, and then you see people worrying about being robbed. A lot of people begging for food and so on. Well, enjoy yourselves, and I think I'm going to finish my video with a motorcycle that I love, that I never own one, but I always want to, and this is a Ducati 695 Monster. Check that out. So this is today, and this is today also. It's all good.